A warm welcome to easySoft's video tutorial on the expanded device catalog, available starting with version 8.40. In this tutorial, the new features in the easySoft V8.40 device catalog are presented, and an example configuration is set up. To use the expanded device catalog, you need to meet the following technical requirements. An Easy E4 base device with at least version 8 and firmware version greater than or equal to 2.40. The easySoft programming software, version 8.40 or later. You can download it from eaton.com/software. Additionally, an easySoft license key is required for online transmission of the project. Finally, some hardware is required. For example, one of the new devices in the device catalog, such as the Eaton EMD3P energy measurement module with firmware version V2 or later. The updated device catalog in the new easySoft includes 4 new Eaton devices. 3 of these are Modbus TCP servers, which can be found in the Modbus modules folder. These are the EMD3P Smart Energy Metering Module, the PowerXL DM1 Pro Variable Frequency Drive, and the S711 Soft Starter with its optional Modbus TCP communication board. In addition, the RMQ-Titan Advanced Indicator, as a visualization tool, is now available in the Visualization Device folder. If the PowerXL DM1 Pro Variable Frequency Drive is connected to the Easy E4 in the project, you need to set the correct type and IP address in the Variable Frequency Drive. In the module, the main status and command registers are already pre-configured, so they no longer need to be created individually. The same procedure used for the DM1 Pro should also be applied to the S711. It's important to point out at this stage that the S711 does not have an internal Modbus TCP function, so the optional Modbus TCP card is required. Here too, the relevant status and command registers are pre-configured and can therefore be addressed easily. Now the EMD3P energy measurement module will be examined. The EMD3P module is connected to the Easy E4 and then configured in the software. In the next step, we'll take a closer look at the configuration using this example as a reference. After starting easySoft, you first need to create a new project. To do this, drag and drop the existing Easy4 base device into the configuration. Note, pay attention to the required Easy4 firmware version so you can use the new features. The project is now configured as usual. Next, you select the energy measurement module in the Modbus modules folder and drag it into the project, again using drag and drop. Now the device has to be configured in easySoft. To do this, first, select the Module Configuration tab. Here you can select the type of current transformer installed. In this example, a CT63 is used, so select the EMD3P CT63 type. Next, you need to specify the phase sequence and the corresponding polarity. The module configuration then continues with the measuring interval. Here you choose a value of 200 milliseconds, which corresponds to a measurement accuracy class of 0.5. Then you select how the cyclic data should behave. In this example, the factory settings are kept. In the next step, the IP address is assigned via the expansion parameters. In addition, access via a DNS name could also be possible. Finally, a timeout is set for Modbus communication. Here too, the factory settings are retained. Let's now see how data can be used in a program. On the one hand, there are the parameters shown here, which you can later access via the associated operands. In addition, there are the energy measurement values which can be accessed via a manufacturer block. In the Assigned Operands tab, you first navigate to the analog inputs, since the EMD3P's measurement data are output as analog values. Here, the required data can now be mapped to one of the operands on the right. If, for example, the current on L1 is mapped to operand IA05, this value will then be accessible in the program via that operand. In the next step, it shows how to read the energy measurement values. In the programming section, you can first choose from 4 PLC languages. In this example, the FBD language is selected. The manufacturer block named Energy Metering is provided. You can find it in the Other Function Blocks folder and drag and drop it into a network. Next, this also needs to be configured. The important thing here is, first of all, to select which energy metering module the data should be taken from. This is something to keep in mind, especially in larger projects with multiple EMD3Ps. Once the connection has been established, the energy values such as active energy, reactive energy, or apparent energy can be linked to the block's corresponding analog output. If, for example, positive active energy is assigned to QA1, this value can be scaled accordingly. The raw value is provided in 0.1 watt-hours. A conversion to kilowatt-hours would then be carried out, for example, by dividing by 10,000. Since the EMD3P measured values are read in a 64-bit data format, while easyE4 supports a maximum of 32 bits, the value of the decimal portion can be mapped separately using the modulo function. This way, later on, the energy value including the decimal portion can be displayed using two of the block's outputs. As a final step to configure the EMD3P, you can assign the device an IP address via the online view in easySoft. To do this, from the Communication tab, go to the Search IP Devices button. A window opens in which, using the search, all devices available on the network are displayed. Select the EMD3P and transfer the set IP address to the device using the button. Another new device in the device catalog is the RMQ-Titan Advanced Indicator. This device also helps simplify the setup for the user. The advanced indicator inputs can therefore be mapped very easily to the corresponding easyE4 operands. Here too, a function block is available which, like all blocks, is described in detail in the easySoft manual. Thank you for your attention.